Hello, my name is Bill Keach from Sunbelt Computer Software, and today I'd like to talk about the new demonstration software that was released with 10.7 and is also in 10.7a. This software consists of a sample answer program, which this video will be about, and a sample master program, which we'll discuss in another video. Before we look at the code for the answer, let's see this answer program running under a console based, a Win32 based, and a WebView based interface. For the console based interface, we will be using PLBCon, and you see it comes up in a text mode that displays the time and date and asks us for a username and a password. We'll escape out of this and use our PLB Win7 version to run it under a pure Win32 mode. And it comes up with a fancier display inside a window that uses Win32 controls. We'll close this and we'll display it one more time using current web view. In this case, you'll see it comes up, the controls look a little bit different, and we have the ability to shift it into dark mode with the web view. So now let's take a look at some of the source code that make the answer program up. The code starts by determining whether we're in a graphical mode, a character-based mode, and what level of graphical support that we have. To determine graphical support, we just use the get mode to see whether we're in a GUI environment. If we are, we get some system data to decide whether we're running PLBCon, which can be in a GUI mode, but we'll clear it so that we'll run it in character mode. Whether we're running a web server or PLBserv as well. If we're running in a graphical mode, we hide the main window. We then open up our user file and we call conAnswer if we're in a console-based mode or a character-based mode. If not in a character-based or console mode, we need to determine, are we running under Cordova on a handheld device? And do we have Bootstrap 5 support for being able to have a WebView based form? If we're in a web server, we also check to see whether we're on a small screen, such as an iPhone or an iPad. Then, once we've determined it, if we have full support for WebView support, we call our web answer. Otherwise, we call our just Win32 basic GUI answer. So let's take a look at each one of these in turn to see how we split off and do the various styles of answers. For the console, we use key in the display for our user interface. We get some information about the screen. We then display the border and the information on the screen. Then we request from the user a name and a password and call our sign-in function. For the standard GUI, which could be a PLBWin, PLBWin7, or the standard web server, we will come in. First of all, check to see whether it's a small screen, load the main form. If it is a small screen, we will make sure that we turn off the logo to give us more room and make some slight adjustments. We'll then run the form, allowing people to key in the name of the user, and upon pressing the sign in button, we'll call the sign in function. The third function or style of UI that we support is WebView or Bootstrap 5 enabled GUI. And in this case, once again, we come in, we check to see whether it's a small screen. We'll set up our default theme and at the same time set up a certain web style for the logo picture, as well as loading up the form. We will end up making some modifications on the small size from an iPhone or an iPad, and then we will wait again for the user to key in the information, hit the sign in button, then we'll call the sign in routine. This has, of course, one more capability, which is the capability of turning on dark mode. In this case, we would invoke the function. We would check to see whether the dark mode is already invoked or not. We will change the theme. While changing the theme, we will also set the logo picture style, giving it a gradient in dark mode to make it be a little bit more outstanding. Finally, we come to the sign-in function, which will clock timestamp, move it into a record, update the user's file with that record so we have a log in of it, move the email that we typed in to logged in user, set a global that we're logged in, and go change the master program. With that said, the program is done and the master program takes over. This has been Bill Keach for Sunbelt Computer Software, and please check out our look at the master source code in the master video.